Oh man, here we are. Here we are. Oh boy. Better grab my business card. Somebody will be yelling at me. Somebody will be yelling at me. Oh boy, look at all that stuff. Man, I got way too much stuff. ONR in a Mister bottle. Still working on this. Be through with it one of these years. There's my business card. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Let's see if it'll stay on this metal right there. Oh yeah, it's stuck to that. How about that? Stuck up there, because I didn't redo that part the other day, but I did redo this one. I'll bet you whatever you want to bet, it will not stick. Nope. Won't stick to that. But anyway, gonna get back on our interior tips here. Cleaning up this side, the passenger side. As you can see, I've already attacked it with the vortex tool, which we went over in a previous video. It hooks up to your air compressor. Got my vac standing by with the long reach tool, so I can get into the hard to access spaces. I've already, like I said, already blown everything out pretty good, including the little cracks in the seats with that vortex on the air compressor. And some of you were, well, one of you asked in a PM about, okay, what are you talking about with using the brushes before you vacuum and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd just do a little quick demo on that. Let me get in the car here. I wished I had me a camera person. Now what I've got here is a drill brush. I mean, simply, boom. See how it just zips around there. And usually what I do, at the very least, even if all I'm going to be doing to a car is vacuuming it, I will take this and I just simply do like this. And what that does, it gets all the dirt and debris up from in the carpet, makes it easier to vacuum up, particularly if you have animal hair, human hair, difficult things to get out. Of course, I've already pre-treated this with the fabric softener like we talked about the other day. Oh, I had me a watcher and they dropped out. I guess I found this too boring. I can't say they'll blame me. But you know, if you don't have this, if all you've got is something like this, you know, that'll work too. You just take it and you just brush the carpet with it first. It's also handy for, you know, like if you've ever just straight out vacuumed a car, sometimes it's difficult to get the debris that gets in between the carpet and a piece of molding or something like that, and you just simply take it and brush it out. Or take a toothbrush, or in this case a detailing brush which has soft bristles, and you can do that and get that stuff out of there so that you can vacuum it up later. And this is a very soft bristle detailing brush with a fairly long handle on it. Some people say use a toothbrush, which would work okay for this, but a lot of toothbrushes are pretty stiff, and if you're not careful they might scratch. This won't scratch this. And they're also good for getting in, you know, these little cracks like this and that, you know. And I was talking also the other day about cleaning out like spaces like this inside the air conditioner vent. Hey Aaron, how you doing there, buddy? How you doing? So if you wanted to, you could take this brush and do it that way. You know, whatever works for you. if they're really dirty, you would want to maybe spray some cleaner. Hey Aaron, thank you for waving, buddy. So that you can clean these out. Mine aren't dirty, but they do get dusty. You know, if you don't have something like this, I also have another very soft bristle brush that you can get in there and clean that with, and clean like in here. You can put a little cleaner, your spray cleaner, whatever you want to use, and clean out stuff like that where the dust gets in those little bitty spaces. That's a very soft bristle brush, so it won't scratch this. You don't want to use a hard bristle because you'll end up scratching and doing damage to that. And some people were confused about what I mean with dry brush. It's just a little foam paint brush, and a lot of times I'll spray some cleaner on one of those other brushes, and or maybe even another one of these, and you know, get in there to clean dirt and grime out of there. Then I'll take a dry one and work it in there to clean those little spaces out. And you can also do that same thing with these little cracks and crevices like this, or even in here if you wanted to, just to mop up cleaner if you've had to put up. There goes my air compressor again, Aaron. She made crickets. I should cut that off. I miss you too, brother. Miss you too. It was a good ride, wasn't it, buddy? You know, all that stuff. Debris blowing around outside. I already blew something into the car here. But all I really need to do with mine is, it's a little dusty from the pollen and stuff, is I will just take a decent quality microfiber towel and my little mixture of O and R that I diluted down to their quick detailer ratio, and I'll just dampen it and wipe all this down just to get that dust off, because it's not really dirty. The exception being, you can see some spots there on this dash. I don't know what that is or where it came from, so I'll probably have to get a little cleaner or something and see if I can get that off. And I'll try to remember to come back later. Yeah, there's some more right there. See those spots? I'm not sure what that is. I guess somebody at some point in the past spilled something, or something splattered. Who knows? Who knows? But I'll see if I can get that off. All this stuff, folks, one reason this looks pretty darn good for a 1998 is most of these interior pieces I have stripped out of here, laid them all out in the garage and re-dyed them, and then put a protective coating on them. So that's one reason it looks as good as it does. I took the door panels out, I took the seats out, all this console, all this stuff came out and was re-dyed and redone. Hey, it's a lot cheaper than buying all new stuff. And yeah, I was just trying to make it look as good as I could, because buying all this stuff, very, very pricey. If you've ever priced any of this stuff, very pricey. And well, my aftermarket radio, which I rarely use, I'd rather listen to the car. I'd rather listen to the car run, especially now I got the exhaust fixed, and I've got to redo some pieces that, you know, suffer high traffic. You know, like the door seal jams and that kind of stuff. You know, they get scratched up from getting in and out of the car. You know, and like over here on the door, I don't know if you could see that trash that's gotten up in there. Even though I blew it out with the air compressor. See, these little soft bristle brushes make that pretty easy to come out. And like I say, if it was grime or something like that, you could spray a little cleaner on this and get it out, and then go back in with that dry paintbrush I showed you. You can get out these little cracks and stuff, whichever one of those detail brushes you so choose. I've got several of them. Y'all seen them. Makes a big, 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 big difference. Makes life a little easier. You can clean your speaker grills with it. which this one probably needs a little bit better cleaning than this. Yeah, you know you want to be careful with those, Aaron, because your speaker is in, there is a speaker inside of there. So you don't want to be blasting it with compressed air, stuff like that, or spraying cleaner in there, mess up your speaker. So if I was going to use a little cleaner, I would spray it on the brush and then do this, and then go back with a microfiber towel and mop up the excess, and maybe even then come back, you know, with the wet dry back and try to pull whatever moisture had gathered and just remained here off and out of there. But I just wanted to go over the drill brush and all that with you people, because somebody had asked about it, and I try to answer any questions I possibly can. You can see I'm still working on the floor mats. That's the one from the passenger side. All I did was clean that one real good and treated it with some 303 protectant, which is now, I'll show you the bottle it comes in. It's now available on the retail market. A couple years ago it was not. You can get this now in this particular bottle in some of your retail stores, particularly your auto parts stores. Some of them carry it. Now, this is one of the first bottles I bought when it first became available on the retail market, because they had them for sale real cheap, I guess, as an introductory thing. But I buy it by the gallon and then put it into this bottle, because I go through a lot of this, and as I've said before, running back and forth to town every time I needed a bottle of this stuff would just wear me out, both in a loss of time and money. Much cheaper to buy it by the gallon. But you know what you might want to do is get you one of these first. That's a 16-ounce spray bottle, which is standard, normally 16 ounces. Has a pretty good sprayer on it. It's a decent quality spray bottle. It'll last you a while. And then if you really like it and you think, hey, I'm going to use a bunch of that, then you can order it online by the gallon, which makes it much cheaper. Okay, folks? All right, I appreciate everybody that took the time out of their day to watch. I even appreciate the ones who didn't watch, but who have watched before. Maybe they'll tune in later. Hey, man. So, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. They tell me it doesn't matter which one you do. Oh, here comes the mail person again. They've already been through here once today. I guess they got a lot of packages to deliver where people are ordering stuff online in place of going to the stores. And if you're on YouTube, you know what? Consider subscribing so you can catch the rest of this series. You'll be notified. And maybe even go back and check my other playlist for some of the other series of videos that I have done on there. Oh man, yeah, Aaron. If you want to look at the YouTube, I've done some pretty neat cars on that YouTube. I think the last neat car I did, Aaron, was a 1947 Cadillac Coupe with a huge motor in it. It's a resto mod. Very cool car. I'm no Cadillac fan, Aaron, but man, I liked that one. And I think you can go on YouTube and search under my company's name, Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement, and I think it'll come up. And sometimes I'll put the links on my Facebook page to YouTube, even though Facebook doesn't like you to do that. They want everybody to stay on Facebook. They don't want people jumping off of Facebook and going to YouTube. But you know what? They'll get over it. Appreciate you, brother. And whoever else watched parts of this, I thank you very much. And I'm going to get back to it now. Bye, y'all.